Hello, out there in the trucking world and also the frustrating world. Um, Hollering at you today, Saturday, November 2nd. Not been a very good week. Um, of course, not doing Uber right now because my car's still in the shop. And find out it's my transmission. So I need a lot of money to get that fixed, which I'm working on. Basically, God's giving me a sign that the work for you mode is going to have to be temporarily shut down. So I'm going to have to get a job for a little bit. But I'm reaching out to y'all today to talk about trucking still, because it's always about trucking. Um, and my life right now with this Uber thing is very similar to owner operator with one vehicle. Because if you get into a situation where your truck goes down and you own the truck, you're responsible for all the maintenance on the truck. And if you ain't got but one truck, you out of business. Kind of like me with Uber right now. One car and in the shop, a little bit more than what I got on hand to fix it. So I gotta work on some stuff, which God's gonna open the doors for me again, like He always does, and I'm gonna walk through them, whether they're good or bad, and keep it moving. But as I was saying, what I'm reaching out to y'all about today is the pros and cons of trucking. So, couple things, if you work in a regular day-to-day job, your income's pretty consistent. I mean, you get a paycheck every single week. You usually ain't gonna miss a beat if you work in those hours. Uh, as I lived that life for 2 years on the road with trucking, that ain't always guaranteed. And I can tell you some horror stories, which I'm gonna get ready to tell you. Um, if you're working for a mega carrier as a company driver, they're gonna promise you the moon. And as I mentioned to you before, Stephen Transport got my CDL. I'm gonna pay you $1,000 a week for as soon as you get your license. I was there 5 months. I made $1,000 one time. Now I'm gonna go back and forth with these pros and cons because it ain't no list of just pros and a list of cons. There is, but I ain't that type of dude. I ain't about to write all that down. I'm just gonna tell you off the cuff. Because when I talk to people, it's about experience, not about what I've heard or what I think and all that. I'm talking about what have I experienced. And some of my cons with the, um, well, let's go back to the pro. I did talk about cons, but I'm gonna talk about a pro now. Working for yourself, the trucking industry, even though you're a company employee, you still working for yourself because you out there in the truck by yourself on the road. You ain't got no manager hovering over you talking about what you're doing and when you gonna get this done and all that. So working in the trucking industry as a whole is a pro, not a con, because you get the freedom of doing your own thing and being by yourself. I used to tell people all the time, just like I do with Uber, because it's very similar to the trucking world. They say, "How you doing today?" "Oh, I'm great. I ride around in the AC listening to music all day." Can't beat that. That's what the trucking world offers. That's what Uber offers. So I'm giving you a comparison between Uber and trucking because I've done both. I've been an Uber driver for 7 years. I just started doing it full time 2 months ago because I had to get off that truck because one of my last paychecks with the trucking industry as a lease operator, my check was negative $700. That's a con. Like I told you, the pay is inconsistent. You may get a good check one week and a bad check the next week. So, speaking of that, the last company I was with was Prime Inc. as a lease operator. They wrote up an LLC for me, and I had to go to Springfield, Missouri to orientation. Did that for 3 days. Got my LLC wrote up. Got my truck. They did a lease paying. I was charged $1,200 a week, plus maintenance fee, a maintenance fund I had to pay every week into a tire fund I had to pay every week into, and it wasn't that much. It was like $25, $50, something like that. Then I had to pay my fuel every week. As a lease operator, that's all I had to pay was my truck, the fuel, some taxes, but nothing major, and the maintenance fund and the tire fund. So I was paying about $1,500 to $1,800 a week, give or take. So after 4 or 5 months, well, let me just go back. The first 4 weeks, I was making a killing. I was like, okay, my first week, $3,700. My second week, $3,300. Third week, $2,700. Fourth week, $2,200. I made over $10,000 in 4 weeks with Prime Inc. A lot of people with Prime Inc. make real good money because they got fleet managers that's taking care of them. My fleet manager was okay for the first 4 weeks. After that, not so much. I never saw another $2,000 check in 3 months. Matter of fact, the checks got so bad, like I told you, I got a negative $700 check. I also got a negative $100 check, and this is a weekly paychecks. I got a $100 check. I got a $385 check. So that's 4 weeks of bad checks. So that's the con with the trucking industry, that you don't know what the hell you're going to get because somebody else is controlling your pay. Same thing with owner operators. Even though I've never been an actual owner operator, but I was in the business for 24 months, so I can tell you a lot. I talked to a lot of them. And unless you got multiple trucks, one truck is a disaster waiting to happen. Because when that one truck go down, like my Uber car went down, I can't drive now. Same thing with the owner operator. You got one truck, it goes down, goes in the shop. You either got a whole bunch of money, you got to pull out your savings account to get that truck back on the road. And if you don't, you ain't going to be making no money. Because as you know, in the trucking industry, if your wheels ain't turning, you ain't earning. So some of the other pros, which the pro was you can make good money, like I did the first 4 weeks, $10,000. But it turned right around to be a con because that money ran out and I didn't get no more good checks. So the pros, cons is like you don't know which one you're gonna get. So now I'm getting ready to bump down from 18-wheelers to, I went to box trucks already. So now I'm getting ready to go into cargo vans. Cargo vans is a little more manageable because it's like a car. It ain't crazy insurance. It is. But I found a company that's going to offer me a monthly rate on the insurance for the cargo van at $2,300 a month, which is still kind of high, but there's no down payment. So $2,300 a month ain't bad when you can make $2,300 a week and maybe in a day, but that's going to be kind of stretch. But if you make $1,000 a day, cargo van or box truck, that's $5,000 a week. $5,000 a week, that's $20,000 a month. If you're making $20,000 a month, paying $2,300 a month for insurance ain't no big deal. That's the kind of stuff that you can get out of the trucking company industry. Whether it be cargo van, box truck, 18-wheeler, whatever the case may be. Because the kind of money you can make is a pro. You can make a lot of money in trucking. But the con, it's expensive to run a trucking company. Your fuel costs. You talking, depending on where you're going, you can be spending $5,000 a week in fuel if you're going cross country and all that. But just going like 2-3 hours away, 200-300 miles a day, you ain't spending a lot of money on fuel. Even though they try to say fuel costs is through the roof and all that. It ain't it's manageable with the kind of money you can make. So I was paying my own fuel costs, like I said, when I was with Prime Inc. out of Springfield, Missouri. And like I said, first week I made $3,700, and that was including paying my truck note, paying whatever fees I had to pay to the company, paying my fuel. I brought in $3,700. If they'd have done that every week, I'd still be there. But brother, man, they ain't going for no negative $700, and I'm gonna keep coming back for that. No, wrong answer. So some of the other pros, you get to travel and see the world. You know, with an 18-wheeler, you get to see it, but you can't touch it. You sleeping in your truck, you know. So, but the good thing is with a cargo van and even a box truck, you can actually get out your truck and go see stuff. Go make your delivery, you know, because you set your own schedule when you're your own boss. And that's another pro. You set your own schedule. So, anyway, somebody trying to call me, so I'm going to get back to that. But, yeah, you can set your own schedule and get out and go. Matter of fact, with a cargo van and a box truck, you drop your load, you go get a hotel room. You can kick it for 2-3 days, especially if you're running a load and you're getting like $5,000 for one load going one way. Man, take that load 2-3 days, get there, chill out for 2 days, and go see something. Go hang out. You know, go to the mall or go to the beach, whatever the case may be. So, anyway, I'm gonna get back with you. I gotta take a quick break, and I'm gonna come back and holler at you. D-Lo, CEO, DNA Cargo. Peace out.